Good morning and happy Tuesday to you all. Welcome to my Tuesday Coffee and a Card live. I'm so glad you're here with me this morning. It is another sunny and hot day here and looks like we'll be in the 90s all week. But they're telling us that next week we'll be in the 80s. So my fingers are crossed that they are right on that because I would love to see 80s again. That would be great. Again, welcome. If you're here watching me this morning, please say hi so I know that I am up and running and I can find me on Facebook. Hi, Lenny, glad you're here. I guess that means I am up. Let me see if I can find me. Sometimes it takes a little longer on my computer than some of you, but usually I'm there. So, all right, I am up and running, perfect, and in the right spot, which is always good. Good morning, Shar. Good morning, Lenny. Today is Tuesday, August 27th, 2024, and before we get going on what's going on, I wanted to just give you a quick update on my craft fair last Saturday. A lot of you know I was worried about it. And I was. I just thought, oh, I'm going to look like this puny little person here because some of the displays I saw were so amazing. People had 3 and 4 tables and backdrops and crates and oh, it was just gorgeous. And I had my puny little table and tablecloth, which was about it. But it went great. I had an excellent response. Tons of people stopped by. I got many names to add to my mailing list. And actually that was my goal, was just to start meeting people here and getting people on a local mailing list. And I did bring a stand of cards to sell. And I thought, even if I don't sell any, it's okay because that's not my focus. But I sold a bunch. So it just turned out to be a lovely day, an exhausting day. I am old. Boy, that took me out of it. And all day Sunday I was recovering. Thank goodness my husband came and helped me set up and tear down. Even though it was so minimal, it just wears me out. But it was worth it. It was wonderful. Thank you for anyone who prayed for me. I'm doing another one possibly in November and then one in December. So hopefully they'll go as well. I'm excited about them now. Now I kind of know what I'm doing. Took notes on how to even make it better next time. So that was all good. So thank you again. Thank you. My name is Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. I have been an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 27 years now, and I love what I do. I am coming to you from Murfreesboro in Middle Tennessee, and I'm here to help you learn the joy of card making, to give you tips and tricks for paper crafting, to make it easier for you, and then to encourage you to send out those beautiful creations you make to others and make their day. Please be sure to give me a hello in the comments if you stop by, and if you're watching later on the replay, let me know that too. As always, hi Kathy, glad you're here. As always, I will be drawing from all of the comments on the video and giving away the project that we make today, so please comment as many times as you would like. Once I go down to my table, I can't see your comments just the way my setup is, but I will go back and read every one of them and respond to you, and I love them and they make me so happy. So I love those comments. You have until midnight tomorrow, the 28th, to enter your comments for a chance to be put in the drawing, and then I will draw for a winner of the card we make on the next morning and send that out to the winner. Congratulations to the winner of my last card, Joanne Perry. She won my Sketch Challenge 17 card, and that is on its way to you, Joanne. Now, Joanne lives in Canada, and I had her ask if that was still okay. I will send these cards anywhere in the world. So if you are watching me and you win, I will send it to you. So there you go. Oregon, nice. Very nice. CJ, you go by CJ. I got to remember that, Kathy. I forget that, and you've put that a couple times. Sorry, my brain is old, but I will do my best to remember that. Kathy Jones is CJ. Okay. There, I think it's in there somewhere. We shall see, right? Also, if you can share my video to a crafty group, a crafty friend, to your regular page, anywhere you would like to share me, that really helps me out as a small business owner. I love when you do that. Hi, Doris. Glad you're watching. And if you do that, let me know, and I will give you a bonus entry for the project that we make. Okay, guys, let's get you down to the table. You will see green and sunshine going on out there as usual, kind of the standard fare here right now. Down to the table. This is me, Maureen Rolfes, also known as the Crazy Stamping Lady. My blog is crazystampinglady.blogspot.com. My email is crazystampinglady@gmail.com. Facebook is facebook.com/crazystampinglady. My YouTube is under my name, Maureen Rolfes, and you can shop with me at stampingwithmaureen.stampinup.net. If you shop with me in the month of August, please use this hostess code. It gives me the most benefits for your order and allows me to have things to give back to you free of charge in the form of giveaways, kits, etc. If your order is over $150 pre-shipping and handling and tax, then don't use that code, because in that case you will earn free rewards of your own, and I don't want you to miss out on those. I have one beautiful card to share with you guys today. This is from my friend Deb Moore in Prescott, Arizona, actually Prescott Valley, and she sent me this beautiful card. I just love it. It is a gatefold with the double flaps, and inside it says "Life is Sweet." Now she wrote her little note here on the side. You could write it in the middle if you wanted to, or even on the back of this card, but look how pretty this is, and it just fits right back together so lovely. And all of the colors I love so much. Blues and reds go together so very well. Just a gorgeous card. Deb, thank you so much for thinking of me and sending me this card. Much appreciated. Okay, guys, bonus box redemption. Only 5 days left, including today. If you have not redeemed your bonus bucks, whether you earned them from me or another demonstrator last month, please, please redeem them this month. I hate to see anyone lose out on these. If you're having trouble finding them, just let me know, or contact Stampin' Up! Directly and let them know. Their number is 1-800-STAMP-UP. So STAMPUP. And they will help you. Their customer care is wonderful. They will search for you and they will try to find those codes. So please, please, please be sure to redeem those before the end of the month. And the end of the month also brings the days. People have put in some lovely cards this time. I am so excited to see the participation. I would love for more of you to enter. The pin about this sketch challenge is pinned to the top of my Crazy Stamping Lady Facebook page. So just check there in the pinned or featured posts and you will find it. Make your card using this as a springboard for the challenge. Post it there in the comments, and on September 1st, I will draw for a winner for a fun prize. Designer Series paper sale will come to an end at the end of the month, but you can still get 15% off all of these beautiful papers from the current annual catalog. There are some gorgeous ones. I think you've seen me feature just about every single one of them. Let me see if there's any. I haven't done the Lily Pond Lane with the ducks. In fact, I do not own that one. It just didn't appeal to me, even though I have seen amazing things made with it, but I did not get it. I might still. We still have 5 days, right? And I don't think I've used Mediterranean Blooms on camera. But everything else I think I have used in one of my videos. I love our Designer Series papers, as you know, so be sure to check them out. If you just go to the Stampin' Up! Site or to my site, stampingwithmaureen.stampinupnet.net, and you shop and you do specials, it'll bring this up so you can see all the papers that are on special. My free monthly card class, if you want to earn August class, you must place an order of $50 or more by the end of August. $50 or more will get you 3 free card kits. $75 will get you 3 free card kits and a bonus project. $100 will get you 3 free card kits, a bonus project, and a half a pack of an embellishment. You must use my hostess code unless your order is over $150 pre-shipping and handling and tax. I send out 1 kit per person, so whatever your highest order is of the month, that is the kit that you are going to receive. And any order smaller than $50 will still receive a handmade card from me as a thank you, and all of my orders are entered in my monthly prize drawing monthly prize drawing. Yes, there, I got it. I knew what I was talking about. All of these kits will be mailed by September 1st, so hopefully you will have them by the time I do my online class right here in this Facebook page on September 9th at 11 o'clock a.m. That class is open to anyone, so everyone can watch it, but those of you who have kits will be able to put them together because I will put them all together on camera. And then my fall catalog paper share. Thank you to everyone who has ordered. You guys are awesome. I am doing this share. It is all of the regular designer series papers in the mini fall catalog. So it's 7 different designs. You will get a quarter pack of each of those 7 packages for $27. And if you need me to ship them, it'll be $8 more, so $35. They are beautiful papers. I went over them a few videos back, so go check out the video section and look where I mentioned paper share or paper share of DSP, and you can see all of them because I showed all the different papers. If you order by September 3rd, you will go in that first order. I will get them ordered on the 4th and get those out to you as soon as possible. I am keeping the share open till September 15th because some people need to see the catalog, look through it, see what people are doing before they decide. But those orders will come a little bit later in the month to you. So it's up to you. You can order now or later. Email me at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. Let me know how you'd like to pay. I take Venmo or a check in the mail, or if you're local, I'll take cash, and we will get you on the list for that paper share. And then I wanted to announce that starting September 1st, myself and my fun group of Global Inspiration Stamp Team presenters are going to be putting on a 12 Days of Holidays. We're going to be focusing on presentations, tips, and tricks about all of the holidays starting in fall. So that could include Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, all of the upcoming holidays through the holiday season. So I hope that you will plan to join us. One person per day will take the entire day, and they'll do tips and tricks throughout the day. They put on little videos, and then they'll do one regular major presentation during that day. You do not have to be on to watch them live. You can watch them anytime. All of my team members and all of my customers. So if you fall into either of those categories and you're not already a part of the Global Inspiration Stamp Team group, just drop me an email at crazystampinglady@gmail.com or mention it here in the comments, and I will get you invited to that group. I hope I am still going. On my screen, it looks like I've locked up. I'm going to just reload once. Sometimes, like I said, my whole thing is a little mixed up. Oh no, it looks like I'm good. So I'm just going to keep going. But we will have that day and we will present. The schedule will be up in the group within a day or so you'll be able to see what days different presenters are presenting. So I hope you'll just stock up on some snacks and some beverages and be ready to join us as we kick off this season of holidays. Annual catalog is still going strong, but today I am going to give you a sneak peek of a product from the mini catalog. Now, we still are not allowed to show you the inside of the mini catalog. Hopefully you've received yours if you're a customer of mine in the mail already. We cannot show the insides of the catalog until it goes live on September 4th. That is just a Stampin' Up! Rule, and I try really hard to abide by it. But there is great things in this catalog. This is the front cover where you can get a really great sneak peek of an upcoming set. And then the back cover where it talks about more of what's coming and a few other sneak peeks on here. So you can see a little bit, but soon I will be able to go through this with you a little bit more. In the meantime, though, we can show you any product that we have purchased and have received. So that is what I'm doing today. We are going to be playing with the More Than Autumn bundle. which if you guys have watched me at all, know I'm addicted to coffee. So I had to get any set that features anything to do with coffee. It is first on my list, so this was first on my pre-order list. This set is amazing. It comes with the coffee, the whipped cream, the sprinkles, a pumpkin pie, a donut, a little pumpkin, a little apple, a little heart, a little gingerbread man, little marshmallows, a cinnamon stick, a straw, and then all these wonderful sentiments. Nothing's better than you had me at, to my, grateful it's finally, and then you're always going to finish it off with something else here. Hello, love you more, lots of them. And then all these script words of pumpkin season, fall, apple, donuts, autumn, eggnog, hot cocoa, peppermint cider. It is great. It is just a fun set. And then to coordinate it are these dies that coordinate with it. They cut out all of these images, and then they cut out several words. Now these words aren't really cutting out the words that are here. So you're not stamping them. You're cutting them out separately, and you will see me do that today. And they are standalone words on their own. Also in here, I noticed that there is a word latte and coffee that aren't printed like this in the set. And then there is a leaf that is not in the set. So there's some fun things. There's just a lot going on here. And we're going to play with it and hopefully make something really cute. Let me get that out of the way. I might need to grab that again because I am going to be doing some die cutting. So we're also using today on our card the Deckled Rectangles dies. Now these are an online exclusive die. They are still available, but you know with online exclusives, they can go away anytime. They are a favorite of mine. If you want to add a little bit of character to your layers and kind of that torn edge look, these are wonderful. And I am using on today's card, I already cut them out, but the second to the largest and the fourth to the largest. So those are the two layers that we're going to be using. And here are the pieces. I do have coffee close because I can tell my voice is getting scratchy. I have a basic white envelope. I have a pumpkin pie card base. This card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. On here on the inside, I already stamped and colored some little pumpkins, and this is going to be my insert for the inside of my card. And I just did that ahead because I'm going to show you how I color the pumpkin on another part, and I figured you didn't need to watch me do that over and over. So we're just going to take some seal, and you can see how blends do come through the cardstock. So when you're blending on cardstock, you always need then to layer that onto something else so that that doesn't show on the back. So we're going to layer it right here onto our inside of our card on the pumpkin pie cardstock. And that is our inside. So now you still have plenty of room to write a cute little sentiment. Then we have a layer of early espresso. And this layer is, I didn't write my measurements down, so let me get it. 1, 2, 3, 3 1/4, I think by 5. Yep, 3 1/4 by 5. So it's like 2 layers down from my normal layer on a card. It gives me a little bit more of the pumpkin showing around the edge, and we're just going to add that right away to the front of our card, and then I won't get confused about where the front of my card is and how it opens up, etc. So when I'm placing this, I'm placing it with a little bit larger border around the edge than when I do my first layer normally. Let me see, do I have a card like that somewhere? I don't. I can't really show you what I mean by that, but I think you all know what I mean. You would just have a little less border if you did your regular 4 by 5 1/4 on there. Okay, then with the deckled edge die, I cut out a piece of Summer Splash. This is one of our new in colors. Now I told you on that card I showed you earlier how much I love blue and red together. I also love like these teal colors with orange. They just pop to me. I love the way they go together. And so we're going to be using this on our card. I'm going to add a piece of ribbon to it. And this is our striped ribbon. It's a 1/2 inch. It's iridescent, and it's in the current catalog. I'm pretty sure. I don't have it written on there, but I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it's coming out in this fall catalog. Now that I think about that, I would have to look and see. But can you see the iridescence on here as I turn it? It's got all those beautiful pinks and blues and purple colors in there. Now, I'm going to show you a card at the end that's going to be almost like the one I make today, just slightly different. So remember this ribbon. I'll compare them side by side, but you'll see what I did with it on the other card. So for this, I'm just going to add some seal in the middle, on the back, on each side. We're going to wrap this iridescent ribbon around. Now, it does have a right and wrong side. I don't think you can tell it on camera, but one side you can see the iridescence a little bit more in those middle threads. On the other side, it's more muted. So I try to get the correct side up when I'm laying this. And I'm just pulling this around on my cardstock to the back. Actually, I'm going to trim off a lot of that extra. I don't need that there. And then I'm going to take my tear and tape and anchor it to the card. That just helps it not pull out later. Now, I'm not going to peel off the backing on this tear and tape. I'm going to leave it right on there because I am popping this layer up on my card. So I don't want that stickiness there. There's a really nice and firmness to it that it's not going to pull out. Okay, so that is that. The next layer I have is that smaller deckled edge, which I cut out, and this is out of basic white. And to this we're going to add some pumpkin pie ink. So I have my pumpkin pie and I have my blending brush for oranges. And I'm not sure I'm going to add more ink. I've been using this on projects and I might have enough in here for what I'm going to do. So we're just going to come in here because there's ink on here. And I'm going to start swirling it in the middle of my card. And what I'm trying to get is just kind of a little bit of that halo background effect as a circle in the middle of my card here. And you can see there's quite a bit on there. I'm just going to go round and round and round and round and round, just like that. And I think I'm going to stop there. I don't think I'm going to add more. Now, if I wanted to build up more, you just rub it on your ink here, tap it on your glass mat or on a piece of paper to get a little bit of the excess off, and then just start swirling it on your card again. But like I said, I'm not going to do that because I think this is all that I need on that layer. So we're going to stop. Less is more. I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. Okay, so there is that little layer for my card. And then the next thing I want to do is color this cute little cup of pumpkin spice coffee. Now, this cup I want to show you is in here, as is the whipped cream, as is the little pumpkin. And they all cut out separately. So if I wanted more dimension on here, I could have stamped each one of them, the cup, the whipped cream, and the pumpkin, and cut them out individually. But instead, I just stamped them all together flat. Because of that, though, I can't cut them out with the dies. If I cut this out with a die, it's going to cut the cup or the whipped cream, and they're going to be separate. I want it just like this. So you're going to see me fussy cut it in just a minute, which is very easy to do with this. But if you wanted to do it the other way, you could cut them separately and just layer them together. So we're going to color this. I am going to start out with my light pumpkin pie blend. And we're going to color in the bottom of this cup here. Now, I like to do smaller sections of my image when I'm coloring with blends. To me, it just, I don't know, I have a better feel for it. Plus, I get bored if I'm coloring all the same thing at once, so I get bored easily. So I usually color a section at a time. So I'm just going in here with light pumpkin pie. Then I'm going to take my dark pumpkin pie, and I'm going to go around the edge of this section. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is a little different than what I usually do. I wanted my drink to be orange like this, but I also wanted it to look a little coffee-ish, a little bit more darkness to it. So after I did that, I took my This is SU500. It's our old coloring system for our neutral different markers or different blends. They now have a new one, but it's just kind of a medium tan. You could use anything, probably, I don't know, crumb cake or light pebble pass. Some of the different colors could be used on here, but I'm just going to go over that. But the reason I'm showing you this is find the colors of your blends. But you can, and it works wonderfully. And now I'm going to come back in here with my light pumpkin, and we're just going to blend those browns and oranges together and fill this in. And it just makes it look a little bit more like a coffee drink to me. And you know me and my coffee. I'm going to have pumpkin spice. It's definitely going to be in a coffee drink. But I wanted the orange. So look how cool that is. I hope you can see the difference. I'm going to color this top section now with this light one. And you can see this does not pick up the darker colors. It stays true to the light pumpkin pie, which is awesome. Even though it blends them together when you go over them, it doesn't pick that up. And I'm just going to show you the difference in just the light pumpkin pie on there compared to when we added that dark orange and brown. Let's see if I can bring this up a little bit closer and it'll still focus for you. I think it will. But can you see the difference in the coloring there? How much richer this is down here with that extra orange and brown on it compared to this light one. So we're going to do the same thing. Come in here with my orange, darker orange. And I actually love coffee, just the flavor it is. I rarely do flavored coffees, but every fall I have to have at least a couple pumpkin spice lattes. It's, I don't know, something about that pumpkin-y. I love pumpkin, but that spicy flavor, I gotta have it every year. So normally you will not see me drinking flavored coffee. I'm coming back in with that brown to just deepen that color a little bit more than the dark orange. And then we're gonna go over this all again. Whoops, I'm not gonna use the brush end. I like using the nib end. We're gonna go over this all a bit more with the light pumpkin pie and just blend those edges in. So all I'm doing is going around the outside, blending that brown with the dark orange, and then gradually going in more and more until I fill in the whole center and pull some of that color in. And I try to leave it just slightly lighter in the middle to give that kind of feeling of roundness to it and like the light shining on the front. And if there's any spots that you don't think blend real well, just go back after. You can go back in and blend them. There's no right or wrong. You don't have to stop at that point. You keep going till you get it exactly like you like it. Now I told you I'm going to color this little pumpkin, and I am. And it's kind of the same way, although I'm not going to add brown to this. And this is exactly like I did those little pumpkins on the inside of the card. I just colored the whole thing with the light pumpkin pie, came back with the dark pumpkin pie, and added that to the edges and the top and the bottom. And then took my light over the whole thing again to pull that in. Same way, blending around the edges. I kind of do circular motions and just kind of keep pulling it into the middle and keeping it the lightest in the middle there. So there's a little pumpkin. I am going to add some sprinkles to our pumpkin pie latte with lots of whipped cream. So in this stamp set, there is a little sprinkle stamp. You know what? I was going to put orange ones, but I'm not going to put orange ones. I'm changing my mind midstream. I'm going to put chocolate sprinkles on this one. Hopefully they will show. I'm going to use my early espresso and ink up my little sprinkles here. And they come kind of to a peak at the top here, so that works perfect. We're going up in the peak of my whipped cream. And then I'm going to add just a couple more little sprinkly things down here toward the bottom. Because who doesn't like chocolate sprinkles on their whipped cream? So there is our chocolate sprinkles. Now what do I want to do next? I am going to color this inside piece here. So for this, I am going to be using the coordinating color that we're using up here, Summer Splash. And you're going to see why I like orange and turquoisey colors together, because this is going to be beautiful. So I am using my light Summer Splash to come in here and color this little sleeve on my coffee. I just think this, actually Summer Splash is such a gorgeous color, guys. It is so pretty just on its own. But there's something about this against orange that just gives me a happy feeling. So we're all about the happiness with coffee and Summer Splash today. Okay, so I colored that in with my light Summer Splash. Now I'm going to take my dark Summer Splash and we're going to add some of the dark around the edge. And I'm not worried about perfection because I'm going to come in and blend this in. So little, lot, whatever you want to do, you just add it. And then we're going to come back with our light Summer Splash one more time and do the same thing. Do my little circular motions, kind of blend that color around the edge here and keep bringing it in toward the middle, lighter and lighter around my pumpkin, and then just fill it in. Look how pretty that is. I love these colors together, guys. I think they just really pop. Okay, so we're going to fussy cut this out because, like I said, since I put them together when I stamped them, I can't cut them with the dies. Although if you do not like to fussy cut, don't worry, because you can always cut the pieces separate and then put them together for all of you that do not enjoy fussy cutting as much as I do. I don't know why. I love it so much. I mean, I think I've told you before, my mom used to fussy cut things all the time. She was a teacher and she would cut out like comics and things and send them to my kids in the mail when they were little. And she loved this. And then my daughter Heidi, who used to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, she fussy cuts amazingly. She has done it since she was a little one. So I guess it's in our blood. I don't know, but I super love fussy cutting. I wish I could do it for all of you because I know some of you hate it, but not me. Okay, let's come across the bottom here. Now again, there are dies to cut this out. This is just because I stamped it all together. Okay, so there is our cup of pumpkin spice latte. And then before we came on screen, I cut out a pumpkin pie and I colored my pumpkin pie the same way with that little bit of brown on there because that's how pumpkin pie gets when you cook it. I also cut out a little bit of whipped cream for that pumpkin pie. Now this is the same whipped cream I used on my coffee cup here. The dies, there's actually a die that will cut that out for you also on here. So that is really cool. You can just cut out the very top of that whipped cream to get the dollop of whipped cream. But of course, I just fussy cut mine and cut it straight across. And we're going to add this to my pumpkin pie using a glue dot. So right here on the back of this, I'm just going to put a glue dot and pull that off and then put this on my pumpkin pie right here, because who does not want whipped cream on their pumpkin pie? I don't know that person. Okay, so there is my pumpkin pie and this. Now the next thing we need to do is cut out some words. So I'm going to grab my little mini cut and emboss machine here, which I always keep handy dandy. And we are going to cut out the word pumpkin out of my dies right here. So that's pumpkin. And we're going to cut out the saying that says nothing's better than. So nothing's better than pumpkin. And I'm cutting these out of a piece of early espresso that I already put some of our double stick adhesive sheet on the back. This is the adhesive sheets that Stampin' Up! Sells, and I just cut out this chunk, put it on the back of the piece of early espresso that I needed, because I want these words to be able to stick on their own. There's lots of little letters here, and that would be hard to add my Tombow glue to, so we're going to cut them out. I'm going to put the nothing's better than right here, and the word pumpkin right here. I'm not going to put washi tape on these because I don't think they'll move. There's plenty of border. I hope I don't regret that. And then I'm going to lay my plate on the top here, and we're going to run this through. And I'm going to run it through a couple times because we're not only cutting through the early espresso, we're cutting through the adhesive sheets. And when you're doing this, you always want to be sure that you're putting your words on top of the cardstock and not the adhesive sheet side, because they would be backwards if you did that, and that's not going to work so well for words. So just think about that. So that's 2. I'm actually going to go through 3 times just to be sure all those lines are cut through. Okay, 3 times back and forth through my mini cut and emboss machine. Let's pull this off of here. And we are done with this baby for now. And we're going to pop these out. So we're going to be a little gentle. We're using words, and they have those little pieces that go in between them. I could have almost torn that one. I wasn't quite as gentle as I should have been. I'm going to pull out the pumpkin here. And then this I'm going to throw. It does waste a little adhesive sheet, but by cutting it down and only using what you need, you lose very, very little. And then let me get my pokey tool here. This is an old Stampin' Up! Pokey tool, but we do have the one that comes on the end of your Take Your Pick tool. Everyone needs a pokey tool so they can poke out all their little die cuts here. And we're going to pull off that pumpkin just like that. And then inside there's a couple little pieces, so I'm going to punch that one out. I'm going to try to punch that one out. Come out of there. It's kind of like a little teardrop shape on the P right there. And then there's a couple on the middle of the P here that I want to get out. And I'm just getting them out so that next time I go to die cut this, they're already out and out of the way. Okay? And I'm going to hang on to those for just a second, and I'll show you why. Okay, so then here, I'm going to poke these out and then just gently pull this one. And that one came out pretty easy, which was really nice. And then I'm going to poke out the centers on these little letters also. So on here, there's little dots. On the O, there's an oval. You just want to poke them out. If you've gone through and cut through, they should come out pretty easily. You just got to kind of grab them because that adhesive is on the back. It can kind of catch as you're trying to punch them out. It's a little circle in my R. See if I can get that out. And then one in my A. Okay. So nothing's better than, and I'm just going to push these over here. Just like that. Okay. And you can see on here, there's actually a little apostrophe connected to the S. It's already on there. So the nothing is better than, it's right there, and you don't have to worry about that little apostrophe. Okay, so I want those. I want this to the side. What else do we need to do? I think that's it. We're going to build our card. So I'm going to take my little piece that we did our blending brush on, and I'm going to add this using seal to my summer sky piece. So I'm just doing some strips of seal here all the way across. And we're going to center that right over that ribbon so the iridescent shows on each side. Okay. Give that a real firm press so I get it adhered well. And there we go. So now you can see, I just wanted that little bit of sparkle to show on here. Again, when I show you my card at the end, you'll see I did it a little differently, and you can tell me what you think. So this is that iridescent ribbon. Then I'm going to take the little latte that we made and come in here with some seal. And I'm not putting it all the way over to the edge because it's going to stick off the edge a little bit. So I want to not have adhesive where it's sticking over. And let me make sure. I want to be sure I have room for my sentiment at top. Let's see. I could actually put this on first and then I would know. But I should be good. I'm going to come down just a hair if I can. Actually, I probably would recommend putting that sentiment on first. Okay, So there is our little latte. And I'm going to put this on right now to avoid that complication with my next one. Now, sometimes the hardest part about this is getting that adhesive off the back once you run it through. So let's see how I do here. I usually use the tip of my scissors and just try to find a spot where there's a little bit to work with, a little bit of leverage on the adhesive. I say that and I'm going to have, there it goes. And once you get it, then you're good. You just need to get that started coming off the back, the backing. I'm going to pull that all off of here. Very gently again, because these are letters and they can tear. And then this must be where the little split on the back of the adhesive sheet was. So let's see if I can get that again. There we go. That was pretty easy peasy. And we're going to lay this on our card. Now it can become a little tweaked as you're pulling that off. So as you lay it on your card, take just a minute to make sure that you're centering it and it's coming together the way you want. I like to use a tweezers. So we're going to come in here and I'm going to place this just above my latte. And I'm going to take my time laying it down so it's pretty straight. Nothing's better than, let's see if I can get that to release. There you go. And if you just go slowly and lay it down, it's really not bad at all. Just don't stick it directly down, because if those letters got a little tweaked, they're going to look funny. So nothing's better than. And then let's put our pumpkin on right away, doing the same exact thing. Hopefully I can catch that edge of that adhesive pretty easy here. There we go. And once I get it, it should pull up. Now there might be another seam on here working. Oh, nope, that one came all the way. So we're good. And I am once again going to use my little tweezers. You don't have to, but the tweezers to me just give me a lot of steadiness. I can pay attention with this hand more where I want placement. I'm going to let the bottom of that P on the pumpkin come down just below the edge of my little white layer. And the end, you can see the end got a little tweaked on there. So I haven't pushed it down yet. So by taking my tweezers now, I can pull that and straighten it. There we go. And then push those all down. Okay. So everything's flat on there. I'm just going to again give it a really nice pressure from the back. And there you go. Nothing's better than pumpkin. Now I want to add my little piece of pumpkin pie. Grab my dimensional sheet. I know I was down to the edges on one. Let's see. I'm not sure what I did with it. I was down to the edges and then I lost it. So we're just going to use some little ones. Does not matter, but I have mini dimensionals here, so these will work fine. I'm going to put 2 of these onto my pumpkin pie. And we're going to take this and pop it up just a little bit, overlapping my latte there and coming off the edge like that. Oh, I just love it. I think it is so stinking cute. Could be my coffee thing. Now, the reason I kept these little pieces over here is just to show you that if you have a use for them, don't throw them away. If you don't, that is fine. There's no need to keep them. But I kind of want to add a little something to the top of my eye on the pumpkin. So I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool and pick up this little piece that came out of the P right here. It's kind of like an apostrophe, and I'm going to place that for the dot on my eye. Now you certainly do not need to do this, guys. This is just something I thought would be cute on there. I did it on my last card and it worked. The hardest part was getting the backing off of that little piece. So if you don't want to do that, just add some Tombow to it. Let's see if I can get it. And I played and played and there it came and there it is. Yay. So that's my backing. I'm going to pick it up again with my Take Your Pick tool, trying not to push it down too much because I don't want the glue to adhere until I put it up here, right there on my pumpkin. So that's just a little extra touch. I don't really have a use for the rest of these. They might come in handy for something. You could keep these, and if you had a bunch of them, make little petals for a flower. But I am not going to do that. I'm going to get rid of all of the rest of these, throw them away. And there is our layer. We're going to add this to the front of our card using more dimensionals. And since I can't find my large dimensionals, like I said, we're just going to use some minis. And the minis work just fine. So they all work. And like I said, I was finishing up a piece. I thought I had just the edge of one here I was going to cut and use today, but I must have hidden it somewhere far, far away where I can't find it. Okay, we're going to come in here, take all of these backings off, and this is now going to get popped up onto my card front. Now we have double dimensionals because we have some on the pumpkin piece, the pumpkin pie piece, but it's not going to matter because the dimensionals I added to my card are not in the same location. So when this goes through the mail, that will just pop down and these areas will pop down and it will not be double thickness. So I try to think about that with the placement of my dimensionals. Also with my gems. So we are going to add a little bling to this. So let me grab, I think for this one I'm going to use our swirl dots. Now these are an online exclusive that came out with the Latte Love set. And I like the pecan kind of color on here with the pie on here. So we're going to add these. I think I'm going to use the darker ones. And I'm going to find where I don't have dimensionals for the same reason. I want these to be able to push down when they go through the mail so that my card is not so thick. So let's just add a couple of those right there. And then I'm going to take one more. And I'm going to add that right down here. Let's see. I think I'm going to add it over here to the side. Okay, so there is my triangle of gems, my 3 little gems on there. I think it turned out so cute. Last thing we need to do is our envelope. Let me grab my envelope. So for the envelope, I just put pumpkin season and a little pumpkin right in the middle, and I put them all on the same block. And we're going to stamp those using Memento ink. And then hang with me because I'm going to do a little more with this. If I can get that inked up well. I'm going to sit this down here onto the front of my envelope. Okay, so now we have the one little pumpkin there. I'm pulling off my words and I'm going to leave the pumpkin on here because I want to add a couple more pumpkins to this envelope. So I'm going to do one more kind of right down here. And one more up to the top over here because I love my envelopes to be decorated. And then it's up to you. You could slide a piece of paper inside of here so that the blend doesn't go through the back and color it with blends. I'm going to color my pumpkins just using my pumpkin pie marker because it is just the envelope. Now be aware, if you color with blends, it's not going to get messed up in the mail, which is really nice. But you do have to put that paper in there to color. If you color with markers, there's always the chance that this envelope could get wet and that could bleed. I have never ever received a card, even once in a while when the ink bled on the envelope, never received a card so wet that the ink bled through to the card inside. So I'm willing to take the risk with my marker just because it's a little bit easier and I'm not worried about blending these little pumpkins on the envelope. They're just there to say, hey, look at me, aren't I cute? So this marker does that fine. Excuse me, let me grab just a sip of coffee before I finish off here. Once again, I hope I am working. My silly computer is just spinning here. I'm going to reload it and hope that it's caught up to where I should be and that I'm working. Oh yeah, it is. Good. Okay, so there is our envelope. Here's the inside of our card, which matches the envelope. Here is the outside of our card, which I am in love with. And maybe it's just me because I love pumpkin spice latte or lattes in general. I'm going to show you the card I made first. And I'm going to point out a couple little subtle differences. And you can tell me what you think. This is the one I'm giving away, but I kind of like to try a couple little different things and see which I like better also in case I recreate this. So let me move this out of the way. Card I'm giving away today is this one. Here's the one I made ahead of time. They are almost alike. On this one, I'll show you the differences. I colored the iridescent ribbon on this one with the pumpkin pie blend, just to give it a little bit deeper color. I didn't love it for some reason, so that's why I went with just the iridescent on here, okay? I also, on this one, put orange sprinkles instead of brown, which I kind of like because they show a little bit more. And then for this one, instead of the swirl dots that I used on the card I just finished, I used our neutral sequins, and I put 5 of them. I used the gold ones. So that gave it a little more sparkly bling. This one's a little more subdued. I love both of them. And it just shows you that you can change up these designs and make them your own with what you might have at home. Don't feel you have to copy them exactly to get what I'm doing. So I hope you'll take that into consideration. Again, this is the card I am giving away. I am so happy you took some time out of your day about some of the products in the upcoming fall catalog. Don't forget, the upcoming end of the month deadlines are for bonus redemption, so you have to redeem your coupons. It is the first round of my paper share. It is my free August kit with purchase and the sketch challenge. The deadlines for those are all coming up, so don't forget about them. Also, don't forget to leave your comments for a chance to win this card. You have till tomorrow night to be entered. Every comment you leave will count as an entry. As always, I would love to be your creative coach and demonstrator. If you have any questions at all, if you need a catalog, please reach out to me in the comments of this video or by email at crazystampinglady@gmail.com. I will be back here Friday, God willing, with another sneak peek from the new mini catalog. So I hope you will come back and play with me some more. Same time, same place. Till then, have a great week, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.